I might as well get started reading it, right? Oh, God, no, stop. Yes! Jesus, that scared me so. Hey, what's going on, guys? David the Gamer here. Welcome to another video. Today I'm back with more Doki Literature Club. You know, as much as I hate this game now, as much as I'm scared of it, I need to finish this game eventually. So here I am, back again. So, we left off here. While I was editing last episode, I realized that, yes, the screen was tilting. And it was slowly tilting. I think like every piece of dialogue I went through. I want to try and be a member of this club. So yeah, let's get back into it. Alright. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just feel like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something like this. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Oh, okay. Now the screen's back to normal. Whew. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a good book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaked another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just reading a bit of this, so that's the book that you gave me, right? What the hell? What the hell is that? What the hell happened to her eye? Dude, it's like slowly coming off of her face. I wanted to reread some of it. What the hell? Not for any particular reason. Just curious. How come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy two of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that turns into a human experiment prison. And the people trapped... Oh, right, yeah. I've heard... Haven't I heard this before? Yeah, like, she said this before. And the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Jeez, she didn't say that, did she? I don't remember saying that. Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. And not the thing about the limbs. It's kind of dark, isn't it? You already made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, David the Gamer? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story. It's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil. Jesus, what is wrong with the text? But because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly, oh, what the hell, this game? I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts. What the hell is going on? I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Oh, God, no, stop. Yes! Jesus, that scared me so bad. I mean, you don't have to, but... what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about the reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Ooh, I read something about, like, bathing in... What the hell? I'm gonna pause, like, right now. I'm gonna pause, just, like... I'm gonna get to the part while editing and just pause and let you guys see what it is, cause, geez, that's scary. I didn't know what it said exactly, but I'll know after I'm done editing. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, and then I hold my bookmark between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the pages. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm, on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a little bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the pages, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she guesses things she says and all that. Ah, that's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get to that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head. Yuri, are you feeling alright? Eh? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. Yeah, I don't remember that smile in before. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hand on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? David a gamer? Did something happen just now? Eh? I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? No, not really. I was just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. No, nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does this sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. Alright, if you say so. Anyway, why don't we start with sharing our poems with each other? Eh? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? Well, she might be a little while, so I just figured we'd start without her. Is that okay? Yeah, I was just asking. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left the book. Then slip it back into my bag. Okay, who should I show my poem to first? Show it to Natsuki. I told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I shared mine with her first. David the Gamer, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? What do you think what, do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe he's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you'll probably think it's stupid. Ghosts can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But this isn't the point in poems for people to express themselves. Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Oh, she's still talking. Okay. Seeing everyone around you doing great things can really be disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about the simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what I meant to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Alright, Monica. There's nothing. Hi, David the Gamer. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poems with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, David the Gamer. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? It's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Good job, great job, David the Gamer. I was going, ooh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. Hahaha, that's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean that like it's a bad thing though, but sometimes I get the impression that she's just totally given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets so happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly, like earlier. I think if she gets too stimulated, she'll end up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back. Did you miss anything? Did I miss anything? Not really. Well, we all started sharing our poems with each other. Eh? Already? I'm sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time, so I'm more glad that you took all of the time you needed. Alright. Thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem now. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall, but he wasn't looking at me. Confused, I frantically glanced at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. Are there others in this room? Are they talking, or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sounds of frantic scrawling playing tricks on my ears. The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. So what do you think? It's very free form, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that, because it's kind of coming on strongly. Because if after everyone is better friends with each other, maybe after everyone's better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you're trying so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Okay, last but not least, Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say something out loud? Yuri covers her mouth and ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical in new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her trail of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little biased though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily, as if there's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? I host under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. Oh, I've read this before. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. It took me like 5 seconds. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Huh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short? I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, David Gamer. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than just tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot of solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. Eh? It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, David Gamer. Me too. Phew. Whew. Let me take a breath, like an actual deep breath. Alright. Okay, I guess that's everyone. Glance around the room. That was a little more... That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if there's just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their hold on. My computer is gonna die soon. I gotta plug it in. I usually unplug my computer to film because for some reason it makes it a lot faster. I don't know why. I don't know what the science behind that is, but that's how it works. Okay. Natsuki's eyebrows fury and frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Eh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Ah, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Huh? You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it. And David the Gamer did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I'd spend a lot of time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And David the Gamer liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. This part again. Maybe you're just jealous that David the Gamer appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh. And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I was the one whose boobs magically grew size bigger as soon as David the Gamer started showing up. I have to say it again. This doesn't involve you taking out on your own. Jesus. On your own insecurities like that. You really act as young as you look, Natsuki. Me? Look who's talking. You want to be edgy, bitch. Edgy? Sorry that my lifestyle is too much for someone your mental age is to comprehend. See? Just saying that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves after they graduate middle school, you know. If you want to prove something, then stop harassing others with your sickening attitude. You think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only cute thing about you now is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful. You might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh, my bad. You already do, don't you? Did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with you? With your head? Yeah, go on. Let David the Gamer hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be head over heels for you after this. Ah! Suddenly Yuri turns towards me as if she just noticed I was standing here. David the Gamer! She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. I don't know. What the hell? Oh! What the frick? Whoa! What the hell? What? Oh! What the hell? Hey David the Gamer, why don't we step outside for a little bit, okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to just stay out of it. Stay out of this. Yeah, it probably is better. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Some president I am, right? I can't even confront my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with the others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend time with you instead. Suddenly Natsuki runs out of the classroom. She quickly runs away. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. Yuri is rocking back and forth in her desk with palms on her forehead. Yuri? I didn't mean it! I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki, or did. David the Gamer, please don't hate me. Please! I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about this by tomorrow. Completely. Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home if you want. Yuri looks at me like she wants to say something, but she keeps glancing to Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president. Should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. It kind of sounds like you don't want me around or something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with David the Gamer. It would just be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I don't really have a choice, do I? I'm sorry for causing trouble, but I really... Well, I guess I'll end it there for today. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, leave in the comments below if there's any other games you want me to play or any games at all. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.